Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. Today we're going to be going over Chestnut Farms. This is a brand that you see Total Wine is like obsessed with. If you ever shop at Total Wine, this is going to be Chestnut Farms out in the center of the aisle. If you ask for recommendations, they're probably going to suggest it to you. If you ask for Blantons, they're going to say, we don't have Blantons, but what we do have is Chestnut Farms, and it's every bit as good. So they're really trying to push this. First and foremost, why? Second, is it good? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go ahead and pour this and let it start opening up, and I'll give you the deets. So let's talk about what actually is this juice, right? This is actually Barton 1792. Okay, it's their distillate. So if you ever bought like small batch 1792 bottle, it's that. It's those people. But what's happened is Total Wine has done a private deal with them, right? So it's like an exclusive brand to Total Wine. So they're paying Barton 1792 to distill this whiskey, brand it as Chestnut Farms, and then sell it exclusively at Total Wine. And as far as I know, there are two variations of this. There's this one, which is the approachable like $60 bottle, and then there's the $125 bottle, which is the bottle in bond. So that's the bib product. So the one we're tasting today is just that entry level, the $60 bottle, and it is 90 proof. The bottling is actually pretty nice. I kind of like the bottling. The only complaint I have is that this horse is so off-centered, it drives me nuts. So if I put it on my shelf, I want to put it so that the label is forward, right? And you barely get any of the horse when you do that. Like, most of the horse is on the side of the bottle. It's like, yo, just like slide it over a little bit, guys. Drives me nuts. But basically, the reps there at Total Wine, they're going to be pushing this bottle on you because their management is telling them to do it, right? They're going to say, hey, if people come in and they want any Buffalo Trace products and we don't have, it's very rare that we have allocated bottles anyways. You just have to be there at the right place at the right time. So instead, recommend this because this is made by Barton 1792, who's owned by Sazerac, who owns Buffalo Trace, right? So they're like, oh, just sell it that way. Be like, oh, we don't have Buffalo Trace, but the same people that own Buffalo Trace, right? We've got their juice, and this is it. This is your Blanton Substitute. And while that's true, it's not the same distillery, right? It's not Buffalo Trace. It's not made in the same place. It's not the same distillers. It's not the same juice. This is one of their other distilleries that they own, Barton 1792. The difference is profit margins, right? They're going to make more money off of a bottle of this sold than another $60 bottle because it's their brand. So that's why they're so obsessed at Total Wine with this brand and why they're trying to get you to buy it. Because management is telling the reps, hey guys, make sure you're pushing these bottles. They want their bonuses, right? It's corporate. But does that mean that this is bad juice? That it's not worth the price tag? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. Now, general consensus, just kind of doing some research online, the general consensus is that this is actually pretty good whiskey. It's actually pretty good stuff according to most folks. The one thing people get hung up on is the price tag, especially with the bottled in bond product, because it's $125. And, you could get just, like a foolproof bottle of 1792 for $40 less, depending on who you get it from and what the asking price is. You can get basically the same stuff that's still really good, just a lot cheaper. So we'll nose the whiskey, taste the whiskey, give thoughts on the whiskey, and review the whiskey, but we'll also try to keep the price point in mind. I'm trying to record and I just hear stomp, 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 because my kids are home. Winter break, Christmas break, and I swear, for tiny human beings, they've got lead for feet. Let's talk nose. The nose on this is actually quite nice. I get almost like a toasted marshmallow and a lot of floral and honey notes too. Very inviting, light nose. Nothing deep or dark. Sweet and light. Approachable. Maybe even like a powdered sugar sweetness on that too. Let's taste it. Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, that toasted marshmallow note we got on the nose, that's like front and center on the palate. And the finish is all just a light oak, not like bitter or tannic, just light sweet oak, and a lot of those floral components that we got on the nose. That's like a really easy sipper. Yeah, I should like that quite a bit. Yeah, not totally complex. Not getting like tons of different nuance or some obscure tasting notes or anything, but I really like that toasted marshmallow on the palate and that sweet floral oak finish. Going in for another Another sip there. On the finish, even a little bit of like maraschino cherries coming through on that finish after it sits for a while. Quick tip, when you're trying to evaluate the finish of a whiskey, after you swallowed and you're letting it sit, close your mouth and exhale, but don't exhale through your nose. Don't push the air through your nose like that. Instead, exhale through your throat like you're trying to exhale through your mouth. That way, the air is going to come up, going to go through your olfactories back in here, and then out the nose. So you're going to circulate it through the back of your palate there, and then out through the nose. And it's going to let those flavors on the finish really hit everything, and you'll get a lot more nuance out of it. Okay, so on taste alone, just evaluating the whiskey, thinking of it as like a daily sipper, that's really crushable. I think that's actually quite tasty stuff. I would not be disappointed to have a pour for that on a weekday, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that I'm getting a little hung up on is that price tag, like people talked about. $60 for that bottle at 90 proof. You know, I could get a bottle of Rare Breed for 116 proof for that. I could get Old Forester's 1920 for that. I could get Bardstown's Origin Series for less than that. And so for that reason, I have to say that I would like this more, I think, if it was in that $40 to $50 price range. Knock 10 to 15 bucks off of it, you know? I'd be more inclined to pick this up more regularly. I mean, it's not like a huge deal, but I mean, $60 is $60. It's a lot easier for me to stomach buying a like daily sipper bottle when it's a little bit less than that. That's why I really like the Bardstown Origin Series, 45 bucks for a great daily sipper at 100 proof. And this wants to compete with that 90 proof and more expensive. But that being said, it's quite tasty. So factoring in the whiskey itself, how good it tastes, but also weighing the price point for it, if I were to give this a rating per my scale, I think I would land at giving this a 7.2. Yeah, we'll go with that, 7.2. I'll have to give the Bottled and Bond a try sometime. I was there at Total Wine picking up some other bottles, and I figured I'd give this a shot as well. But I wasn't quite ready, considering the other things that were in my shopping cart at the time. I wasn't quite ready to drop 125 bucks on the Bottled and Bond product. I want to try this one out first. Now that we have, I think maybe we'll give it a shot sometime. Hey, thank you so much for watching the video today, and a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. You guys are rock stars, funding these bottles for me, so that I can upload regularly and keep the juice flowing. Appreciate you guys. Also, got a bunch of samples from barrels that I'm going to be doing my own barrel pick for the channel. Once we select that barrel and we get it all bottled up, we'll send out the link to the Patreon supporters first, and then to everyone else after that. But they'll get the first dibs on these, so stay tuned for information regarding the barrel pick as well. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do so for as little as $1 a month, which is pretty cool. So check that out, link in the description. Also, feel free to check out our Discord group, totally free to join, links in the description as well. Talk whiskey, share memories, talk about what we're sipping on that day, etc. Just a nice little community we've got. Cheers, my friends. May you live richly and get better with age. Be warm and well fed. Hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.